Crusader magazine, you can see the date on it, June 1921. I rescued this from the Tenement Library in New York City at New York University. And when Sean said, okay, let's deal with the Tulsa Riot, I said, what's a unique angle? Something that hasn't been said, hasn't been done. Again and again, and we've had some fine historians over the years, and certainly those connected with the commission should be very laudable in the kind of work that they did. Scott Ellsworth, and what Miss Gates did, to say nothing of Mary Parrish and Mabel Little, and even John Hope Franklin himself. So I was looking for an angle in something that had not been covered that much. Once upon a time, back in 1975-76, at Wayne State University, at that time I was pretty much running the Black Studies program, the Black Studies department as such, at Wayne State University. A man named Harry Haywood came into my life. And the first time I had heard about the Crusader in a real way, other than what I had seen in my research and everything, came from Harry Haywood. And one of the things that he praised again and again was a man named Cyril Briggs and the kind of contribution that he made from an activist and a theoretician, as a political philosopher, was his publication of the Crusader. So I found about, the Crusader was around from 1918 to about 1922-23. Not a very long period of time. But I noticed on each one of the covers, they always had a woman. You rarely ever had them in the covers I saw, all had a very striking and beautiful woman on the cover. And I wanted only June and July of 1921 because I knew it's in those two issues in which they dealt with the Tulsa Riot. So this was the beginning right here, looking at this particular issue. The African Blood Brotherhood, you can see the years 1919 to 1925. The man here is Cyril Briggs, who I just mentioned. Just an outstanding thinker, intellectual, political activist, a real leader of his times. And he was the editor and publisher of the Crusader, and also the founder of the African Blood Brotherhood. The African Blood Brotherhood and the Crusader magazine are in the same way connected as the Crisis magazine and the NAACP. In the same way that you find Opportunity magazine and the National Urban League. In other words, the Crusader was the house organ for the African Blood Brotherhood. The African Blood Brotherhood, for the most part, was a secret society. Not large in numbers, but they had pledged, once they joined the organization and it came into existence, they got 1919 up there, but it may have been 1918 or a year before that they really began to kind of gather themselves together up in Harlem. And that was the headquarters, and that's what Cyril Briggs was. But by 1919, it had kind of like really galvanized and got a considerable critical mass at that point in terms of membership, individuals coming into the organization. So much so, they began to put together branches of the ABB all over the country. So when I was doing the research and everything, I was stunned to find that they had a command post right out here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I wasn't surprised they had one in New York, in Harlem, in Philadelphia, even Washington, D.C. I don't think there was one in Detroit. Certainly I don't recall. But it was one out here in Tulsa. So you begin to keep that in mind as we begin to survey and look at the development of the Blood Brotherhood, which is all blacks, costs $1 to join, at 25 cents a month. Sound like, something like that. I can deal with that, huh? Yeah, but back then, of course, it's whole different things in terms of the value of the money and what it meant to a lot of people. And also, how you began to meet on a monthly basis, what it was all about, what constituted a quorum. All you needed was 7 members, and you had a quorum. You could go and hold your meetings and everything. But essentially and basically, it's a propaganda organization. Although you're going to see later on, as we look at some of the bylaws or rules and regulations, the constitution of the ABB, that has a very, very radical portent to it. A very Marxist, communist edge in terms of its outlook.